What's up? It's me, Kevin, just here to talk about a few awesome things, including Furious 7, Avengers Age of Ultron, and the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. I'm going to give my brief review on Furious 7, and then we'll get to the next topics today. Furious 7 is a film I loved a lot. It is literally the most loved film by me, at least probably by another 40 or 50 million other people that went to go see it. This franchise has come to a point where it's a milestone where the action has become so big, and it's been building since Fast Five. Like the action sequences have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and this film is kind of the pinnacle of how big it gets and how a new flavor of awesomeness is added to this film by adding people like Kurt Russell, the girl who played Ramsey, that hacker, and also adding in that it's almost like a Michael Bay film where buildings are getting exploded, but everything made sense and everything served the story. Which in a Michael Bay film, obviously nothing would serve the story; it was just useless. But in this film, every bit of action sequence builds or adds onto the story, which makes awesomeness greater for this film. Just because it's great when great action sequences can line up right with the story, because everything serves the story. Sorry. And this film did it, and I loved the new twists. Seeing Dwayne Johnson, like I said, seeing the montage. There's a montage for Paul Walker at the very end of the film. Seeing Vin Diesel go up against Jason Statham, which is fucking awesome. Oh god, that end part of the film where they're on that parking lot, and then they crash. Obviously, they do that early in the film. Like Vin Diesel has his Charger, and then I believe Jason Statham has his Aston Martin. I believe something like that. They crash, and then they go to fight, and it's like fuck, and then everything starts breaking loose where buildings are getting exploded, and then there's helicopters blowing up cars, and holy crap. But it was such a good ending, though. It was such a good ending for Paul Walker in this film, and kind of sending his character into the sunset. Like the film itself did not. I think that Paul Walker got like probably 10 to 15% more screen time than he would have usually got in the other films, just because they weren't trying to line, or what's the word for it? The whole film was about this, getting revenge for Han. It wasn't about Paul Walker. Like Paul Walker's part came at the very end, where obviously if you've seen it, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are driving down the road, and then they eventually split off, and then Vin Diesel keeps going, and then Paul Walker takes the exit. So, which is, it's good that they had that montage at the end, and it made complete sense. A lot of fans wouldn't get that, but people get that. Like, even if you haven't seen these films, they've read synopsis, so they know about this. Even if they don't know, the $146 million it made the first 5 days proves that even people who did not know a lot about the films knew at least enough, and then those who knew it, then they knew it. So it was really great that this film wasn't all about Paul Walker. It was good by the end; they tied the knot, kind of thing, for his character. But the film overall was still having to be something bigger than him. But it was just good that they ended it that way. So it wasn't a theme of Paul Walker, Brian O'Connor playing him. This whole film, I do believe that he, like I said, Brian O'Connor, obviously, / Paul Walker, did get at least 15-20% more screen time than usually he would in other films. Like, obviously, in other films like Fast 5, 6, that, he still got lots of screen time. Like, you wouldn't notice. Like, he still got lots. But I still think they did focal point it a little bit for his character in this film, but they still did not, kill him off or nothing like that, get him shot or nothing, which is good that they still had, this would be his last film, and this is the last ride with Vin Diesel, and then they would defeat the bad guy, and then he would, run off into the sunset. So, but that one song that is at the very end, I have to say, I think it's I'll See You Again, which was themed toward Paul Walker, and it was part of that scene that Vin Diesel and Paul Walker were driving down the road, and they split off, and that song is playing. It seriously broke my heart. But it's just because Paul Walker was someone that even I looked up to. Like, literally, when I was 10 years old, I looked up to Eminem. I was quite young, and then when the Fast Furious movies came out, I look up because Paul Walker was kind of that person who you can kind of relate to. Like, he's a laid back person who just wants to have fun, and he's a good, genuinely good person who wants to help people. And it's kind of then that kind of translate into family by all those films. It's everything's about family, and this film was no different. Other than obviously there were a few more twists and turns in this film that made this film a little more unique and different than the previous ones, which is probably why these films have made so much money, because each film seems to have the same theme of family and a bad guy and cars, but they still make it much, much more rich and interesting. Just so obviously it's not the same theme, how do you say it, the same thing each time. Like it is and it isn't, where you're racing cars and shit, but there's this new obstacles and new adventures of however you want to put it. All I know is that obviously each film is about racing cars and but this film was saving the world. Last film was just help getting the bad guy Owen Shaw, and before that it was about stealing. I don't think it was $10 billion or $10 million. No, I think it's $20 million from a guy in Rio. So either it was about cars racing, but they still put such a great twist on each film and make each one different from the last, that makes it unique. So it's like a refresh where you know what it's about, but it's like a new environment that they've been put in than the last. So I hope that makes sense to you. I do very much enjoy this franchise. I could not live without it personally, and I'm looking forward to seeing Furious 8, which I think Vin Diesel has already kind of hinted at it will be based in New York City. I just don't know how far they're going to take this. They've kind of lined up, like in this film they do, we do see Dwayne Johnson's character Hobbs' daughter, and then we also see Brian O'Connor's son. So maybe there's something down the road, maybe next film. Usually, it's kind of like a Harry Potter paradox, where it's like each film he's literally 5 years older than the last. So they could introduce those characters at some point down the road, just so they can keep refreshing the cast. So it's not the same cast. Like, they've changed it up, but they still kept the original members. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that. But this film, like, my rating right now is like a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. It was a great film. I loved it, and it was balanced probably at the point where it's like a line. It's like over on this side it could have been a mess, but over on this side it was would have been under, or it was like an under over kind of metaphor. So it was right on the line between action and then having the right amount of action for the story to be served by the action. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my review for Furious 7. So moving on, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Going to see that in a couple of weeks. Really fucking sucks that my friend from Britain is going to go see it on April 22nd, because it opens there I think 5 or 6 days earlier than it does here in Canada, which I'll be going to see the day before, probably May. No, it's not. It opens up May 1st, but I think it's April 29th or 30th that I'll be seeing it then. So yeah, can't wait to see that. Go see that, give my review from that. Looking forward to seeing that. And then moving on to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. I'll be going to the Comic Con, or that specific Comic Con. Like, a lot of people keep questioning. It's like, stop saying fucking Comic Con. You mean that is San Diego? It's like, you can call any con Comic Con Comic Con. Just like Toronto Expo. That's a Comic Con. That's an event like that. So you can call that any. Otherwise, maybe I'll just say Comic Con Calgary, so they can't rip my face off. It's like, come on, man, relax. Like, but yeah, I want to go see the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Next weekend, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to get pictures with Haley Atwell, who is Peggy Carter from Captain America. That was like a blow-minder. I could not believe that they'd be able to get something like that down. Like, I never doubt, but usually it's like a Stan Lee, which there's like one or two much larger guest celebrities that we get. And then probably like 10 or 15 other people there. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not literally at the same level as someone like Haley Atwell. So I'm not dissing them. I'm just it's my personal opinion that I think Haley Atwell, who plays Peggy Carter in the TV show of Agent Carter and Captain America, is on the same level as Stan Lee, which I know Stan Lee takes a lot of fans. So I'm gonna look for her. Jason Momoa is gonna be there. I get a photo op with him. Who, if you don't know him, he's been in Stargate Atlantis as Ronin, and he's gonna be the new Aquaman for Zack Snyder's DC universe. Don't shoot me for saying Zack Snyder's DC universe, but he is kind of at this point the Kevin Feige of DC. And if you don't know who Kevin Feige is, then he is the head of Marvel and Marvel Studios and all those movies. So yeah, he's gonna be there. Who else am I gonna get to see? Oh god. There's a bunch of people from The Walking Dead, like Norman Reedus was supposed to come, and then he backed out. And then now a bunch of other people are coming, like the governor. He's gonna be there. Shannon. God, I can't remember her name. There's a bunch from Walking Dead showing up, and then Stan Lee is showing up, and then I'm going to a Weta workshop. How do you say it? Like Weta's gonna be there. Like obviously you don't know Weta. Weta made they worked on the digital armor and effects for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films. They're gonna be there. This is like their third year in a row that they've come to this film because they keep selling out of all their stuff. At least that's what they told me when I went to go buy Tariel's bow and arrow from the Desolation of Smaug. So they're gonna be there. They're having a special event where they're gonna dress someone up as a dwarf. Like they're gonna put prosthetics on and everything else. So I'm hoping to God I can get that done because that would be awesome. That event is an hour and a half, and also Graham McTavish, who plays Dwalin, the dwarf from The Hobbit, is gonna be talking on stage. So I'll meet him, and yeah. So it's going to be really awesome for that. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'll be buying comics and stuff like that. And getting autographs, photo ops, and hopefully some videos, of, me asking possibly Jason Momoa when and where we're going to see Aquaman in B versus S. So I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll have lots of stuff up from the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo sometime next week. Probably the following Monday once I get back from the con. So, and then I'll explore and talk about what happened there and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed this video, like I said, and have a very, very nice, awesome day. Peace out.